guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, this is Sammy, and today we are watching Season 3, Episode 20 of Battlestar Galactica. That is right, we have reached the finale of Season 3. I can't believe, next season is the last season of Battlestar Galactica. That's crazy to me. I can't believe it. Anyway, last episode we had the beginning of Gaius's trial, which produced a lot of tension for Lee and Adama. Is that confusing when I say Lee and Adama? Hopefully not, because his name is Lee Adama, but then Adama is Adama, Anyway, it produced a lot of tension for them, led to Lee basically leaving the army and... Navy? Is it technically the Navy? And Sam left. It's just me, I guess, you guys. But it led to him leaving the Navy, Army, military, whatever branch of the military that he is in. And it led to him, deciding to just be a civilian. So I'm really curious how that's going to turn out. Ty is also really, really struggling right now with everything that happened with Ellen and his part in it, and he's leaning very heavily on the bottle. Apparently Rosalind's cancer is back, so she's on the Kamala again, and that's what caused her dream in the beginning, although dream, premonition, who's to say. There's also just Gaius's trial, so we don't know how it's going to turn out. There's also, Anders and Rosalind's right-hand woman and Ty all apparently hearing a song. There's something going on with the song. And then also Ty said there's something in the wall. Again, he's leaning very heavily on the bottle. So how much of what he's saying can be trusted, I do not know. But yeah, without any further ado, let's just get right into this episode and find out what happens on the season finale. Samuel, you cannot sit right in front of the TV, buddy.
Get your fat, lazy ass
Out of that rack, Rosalind.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Anything you say, sir.
I really like their relationship.
Don't let him see you sweat, Laura.
The bond they have, and I understand it's born of people having to lead in a really freaking shitty time. They're in the foxhole together, so to speak. It's only been a month. He's grieving. I'm not judging the way he's grieving. I'm just, worried if she's gonna get, feelings. Is she hearing the music?
What is that music? God.
What did you just say? Frick.
So he didn't hear it that time, but she did, and Tyrell was hearing it.
No more games. No mistrials. There will be a verdict.
He just wants it to be over one way or the other.
I've been hearing that
Yeah.
everywhere, on a boombox, in the bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all should talk because this is weird.
What's going on? You're both freaking out at the same time?
Did they have the same dream?
Are you trying to reach Hera?
I don't know. I just knew that I had to protect her with my life.
From what?
I mean, did he argue? Did he offer any resistance whatsoever?
No.
You're committing perjury.
No questions.
What?
I mean, you could find evidence that he's perjuring himself. Someone else he talked to and said that he wasn't there.
The defense would like to move for a mistrial.
Oh,
No, we do not want a mistrial. I do not want a mistrial.
Gaius Baltar!
On the grounds that one of the
Adama.
panel has already prejudged the outcome of this trial, and
he's gonna use what Lee said against him.
and to prove it,
Lee.
I need to take the unusual step of calling Mr. Lee Adama to the stand.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
But I, for one, would like to hear this witness testify.
Why would he put Lee in that situation? He knows what he said. Does he want Lee to perjure himself? Or is he trying to make him tell the truth?
I'm the coward. I'm the traitor. I'm forgiven.
He's not. I don't think.
I'd say we're very forgiving of mistakes. We make our own laws now. You should have been killed back on New Caprica, but since you had the temerity to live, we're gonna execute you now. That's justice.
This is a great speech, honestly. He's right. It's got me. He's got me.
And it's about the guilt of those of us who ran away. Who ran away.
Yep.
That's not justice.
Nope.
Not to me. Not to me.
I'm really proud of him, honestly, because I think that everything he said is true.
The defense rests.
Very well. This court will adjourn to consider a verdict.
I don't know what they'll rule, but I found Lee's argument very compelling.
After carefully weighing the evidence, this tribunal, on a vote of 3 to 2, finds you not guilty.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that.
Where am I going to live? What am I going to do? How am I going to survive?
Much as I hate to use a cat metaphor, Doctor, I think you land on your feet. Not guilty is not the same as innocent.
That's true. That's very true.
It must have been particularly difficult for you. What, you just
I think he voted.
couldn't get the other two guys to fight?
I think he voted not guilty. I think Lee persuaded him.
You voted for his acquittal, didn't you?
Yeah. He's an honorable
I hate
man,
to
too.
say it. Defense made their case. Prosecution didn't.
He's an honest man, too.
Where do you take me to?
To your new life.
Well, they like him, at least, right?
Or silence?
They have to be part of the final 5 then, right? They have to be, along with Starbuck.
Where'd he go?
It's Starbuck.
Where the frick did you go?
It's Starbuck. It's Starbuck. I'm confident, and if I'm wrong, I will be confidently wrong. Starbuck. That's fucking Starbuck.
Hi, Lee.
Sarah? Don't freak out, it really is me.
It's gonna be okay. I've been to Earth. I know where it is. And I'm gonna take us there.
That's Earth. Katie Seka. You guys, Starbuck. Okay, I don't want to break this pen like I broke the freaking other one in Dark. The way in which I need to watch the next episode right fucking now, you guys. The fact the fact that y'all watched that and then had to wait an entire summer for the next episode is like, I remember those days and they sucked. I'm so happy that I do not live in those days right now and I do not have to wait. Oh my God. I need to compose myself a little bit before I go into season 4. But you guys. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna try to actually form cohesive thoughts. Okay, so let me think. I think that I can officially say that Starbuck is one of the final 5 now. And the remaining ones are Tyrell, Anders, Rosalind's right-hand woman, who I tried to look up and it did not immediately pop up. And so I didn't want to look any further just in case of spoilers, right? And then also Ty. So that's just how I feel right now. I'm trying to calm down enough to like be super clear and cohesive, but it's hard because like they have to be the final 5, right? Like, obviously, don't tell me, you guys. Whenever I say these questions, they're completely rhetorical. Unless, of course, I'm just supposed to, like, no, just don't tell me, because I think that they are. I feel like this is confirmation. But I don't know. Starbuck said she's been to Earth and she'll show them the way. And then it, like, panned out and then turned around and panned back in and it was Earth. Like, maybe I'm just reading this situation completely wrong, but I think in the last episode I pondered that maybe they're Cylons or they're final 5. I don't think I actually said they might be Cylons. I can't remember. I know it was like an hour and a half ago, but I can't. Oh, how fucking cute is this cat? I really like the relationship, as I've said many times, between Rosalind and Adama. I think, as I mentioned in the episode, it's very much like a bond born of people who have been through shit together, fought alongside each other. They've been in the trenches with each other. They've gone through probably the worst thing you could ever go through in your entire existence together. You know, they lost a planet, they lost most of humanity, and they have been on the run fighting tooth and nail to survive ever since then. Like, they're definitely trauma bonded, and I think also just bonded, you know? So I really enjoy seeing those moments where they lean on each other. And I like to see the moments where they sort of challenge each other and the way they're looking at things and their understanding of things. It makes me happy. Now, something else that I really enjoy is seeing Lee and Adama and the way that they challenge each other and push each other and sort of like butt heads, because they're very much the same, and the way that they sort of call each other out and then like listen to each other and take the other person's advice and like what they said at face value and really evaluate it. Like, Lee's speech on the stand was one, like, fucking brilliant. Okay? Like, it got me. It's getting me now. Like, I feel it right here in my chest. It makes me want to cry. Like, it was so good because, one, I do think that Gaius is guilty. But I also completely agree with what Lee said. All of them are guilty of something, and they have been forgiven. They've been allowed to fuck up and be forgiven. And the difference here is that people are wanting to kind of scapegoat Gaius in a way for all the shit that they feel guilty about and put it on him and say, we can punish him, right? And I'm not saying that he doesn't probably deserve punishment, but I just think that Lee is so right, and that I hadn't even thought of it in that way, that like the president did issue a blanket pardon for all collaborators except Gaius. It's not really fair, because regardless of what Gaeta said, he genuinely had a gun to his head. And I already said it in the last episode, so I don't need to really reiterate it, but I think that you have to like look at that somewhat sympathetically, at least, because he had a gun to his head, and it doesn't make it right that he chose himself over 200 people. I think as humans, we can understand it, right? I also want to say that I'm really proud that Adama wanted Lee to testify. And at first I was confused because I thought he wanted him to like say that he did what he was being accused of, you know, like Adama was biased. I mean, I think they all were. Again, I don't know that you could find an unbiased jury in that situation. There's literally only 38,000. No, I think there's more now. I think there's like 40 something at the beginning of the episode. But you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to find an unbiased jury in that pool of people. But the thing I love about Adama is that he never completely dismisses somebody else's opinion and perspective and point of view, right? So even when his back is being pushed against the wall and they're saying, you are biased, you are kind of what's wrong with this jury, and Lee can corroborate that, he takes that minute to look inside himself and say, you know what? I am biased. I have not allowed this man a fair trial. I will listen to what Lee has to say, because regardless of what I said, I know that Lee is a good man. I know that he is an honorable man. And I trust his judgment. And then when Lee laid out the facts of like, why are all of us allowed to fuck up, to be cowards, to make the wrong choices, to get people killed, to kill people, why are we allowed to do that and be forgiven, and Gaius Baltar isn't? You know, it's not fair. And Adama heard that and said, what I loved is that he said not guilty does not mean innocent. Because Gaius isn't guilty of what he's being accused of, or, you know, maybe he is, but he's, you know, there's plausible deniability, or not plausible, reasonable doubt. And Adama knows that. He heard what Lee said, and he took it in, and he changed his opinion. And that is something that I think has made Adama, like, one of, if not my favorite character on this show, is that he gets it wrong plenty of times, but he never makes himself unwilling to listen to somebody tell him that he's gotten it wrong and then change his mind accordingly. Like, that is like, it's so rare. It's so great to see. Like, I love it. I love him. And I love that Lee's argument is just like, you know, we are, and like even the speaker of the tribunal, like the head lady who gave the verdict, she agreed, like, you know, we're human. We fuck up. But I think that there's something redeeming about us, I hope, that makes us worth saving. And that's the fact that we are human and we are flawed, but we try our best anyway. And yeah, I don't know. I really liked it because the thing is, no one is perfect. And to be perfect in a world where your entire civilization was taken away from you, your entire way of life, and you have been fighting tooth and nail just to survive for 2 years. To be perfect in that environment is fucking impossible. We can't be perfect in a perfect world. It's just not possible. We're human. We're going to fuck up. So to expect people to be perfect in a world where they have trauma on top of trauma on top of trauma that they have no time to treat or figure out how to navigate, that they're just trying to fucking get through the day in pure survival mode, like, to expect people to be perfect in that situation is a very unrealistic expectation, right? So I love, I'm rambling, aren't I? I love flawed characters. I love people who fuck up. I find them very interesting because they're real, right? And I think that's why I find Gaius interesting. And that's why I like Gaius so much, actually, even though he's definitely more of an anti-hero. Like, he's selfish and he's arrogant and he's honestly a dick. Like, he's probably not really a good person. He's not the kind of person you would really want to be friends with. And he's brilliant, but a little insufferable. But he's such a well fleshed out, real character. Just like Lee. Just like Adama. Just like Starbuck, just like Tyrell, just like Ty. Like, they're all Rosalind, you know. I could keep going, honestly. Hilo, Athena, like, I could just keep listing. But, like, I think something that makes Battlestar so great is that these characters feel real. Like people who are just fumbling their way through a post-apocalyptic sort of world, a, you know, civilization ending event, and they're just trying to fucking survive. Like, they're doing the best they can, you know? If Tyrell and Ty and Anders and Right Hand Lady are correct. Also, you guys, please just tell me Right Hand Lady's name in the comments, because I can't keep calling her Right Hand Lady, and I can't remember her name. If they're all right, and I'm right, which, again, I'm finding hard to believe, and they are Cylons, like, I just really feel for Ty and how much guilt and shame and pain he's gonna take on himself for Ellen, even more than he already has. I worry about where he's gonna be mentally next season. I also am curious about what's happening with Athena and Rosalind and Caprica 6 all having the same dream regarding Hera, and Gaius is in it, and 6 said that she just knew that she had to protect Hera with her life. Is she trying to protect her from the final 5? Because why would they be a threat to Hera? You know, like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But I am curious, because when 6 and Hera and Gaius were on the, like, stage of the opera house and they looked back, the final 5 were, like, on the balcony looking down. And so, like, is that meant to signify that they're looming over them in a threatening sort of way? Is it meant to signify that Hera needs protection from the final five? Or is it just meant to signify that 6 might soon see the final five? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to expect next going into season 4. Like, I don't know. I have lots of questions. Lots of questions. Although, if I am right, and the show is saying what I think it's saying, the Cylons are brilliant. Oh, okay, not the Cylons. Well, yes, the Cylons, but the final five, right? Because if the final five is actually Starbuck, right-hand lady, Ty, Tyrell, and Anders, then they position themselves perfectly throughout the fleet to avoid suspicion and infiltrate the highest levels of human government and military rule, right? Like, Ty is second only to Adama. In fact, Ty once instated military martial law and was in charge for a hot second, right? So Ty is second only to Adama. Right-hand lady is the right-hand lady of the president of the colonies. Starbuck is the main badass pilot. Tyrell literally builds and takes care of the ships. And Anders is was one of the heads of the resistance. I think that I remember suspecting Anders way back when he first showed up, because he was a human that had somehow survived on Caprica. It's also really interesting to me that the final five, again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. If what I believe is true is true. It's so interesting that the final five made themselves not realize. So they is it a coincidence that they got perfectly positioned where they are? Or did they create the situation to be perfectly positioned where they are and then make themselves forget that they were Cylons, in fact the final five, so that they could be perfectly positioned where they are? So many questions. So many questions. So few answers so far. I need to process this, so I think that's all of the rambling that I'm going to do at you right now. Thank you guys for watching season 3 with me. I can't wait to delve into season 4 and find out what the hell is happening, you know? If you guys want to delve into season 4 with me, you can. Right now over on Patreon. Most likely I might watch the movie first before season 4, because I think this is where people said to watch which movie is it? The Razor film and Razor flashbacks, right? So I might do that before season 4. Only one way to find out. Regardless, if you're watching this 2 weeks after it's posted, a month, a year, then you can probably watch all of season 4, depending when it is. Anyway, that's over on Patreon. While you're there, you can find my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries and the Resistance webisodes. That is over there as well. Sorry for the break in the full length. Sorry, I paused it. My cats, fellow cat people, they do not listen. They don't listen. They're crazy. I love them. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye guys.